This is a Ramping Up Your English book review. Are you looking for outstanding photography and a way to strengthen your English vocabulary? You'll have both in Seymour Simon's Book of Trains from HarperCollins Publishers. Each time you turn a page in this book, you're treated to world-class photography. One page features a train switching yard in Portland, Oregon. Most pages have written information about the picture you're enjoying and about trains in general. You'll encounter the precise vocabulary of train terminology. You'll also encounter language forms like present tense verbs and prepositional phrases. You'll see how objects are used to describe things by listing their parts. Mostly, though, you'll enjoy learning more about trains and about the various cars on the train. You're also likely to find the reading level understandable. Seymour Simon's Book of Trains is a beautiful book that offers an enjoyable way to learn more about trains. You'll have to get your own copy. I'm too attached to mine. For Ramping Up Your English, I'm John Letts. Welcome back to Ramping Up Your English, a support program for intermediate level English learners who want to improve their English proficiency. If that's you, you're in the right place. This is segment 2 of episode 8. We have more journeys ahead on the Sunset Limited, but first let me tell you about my travel companions. My number one travel partner is my wife, Liz. Most of the video you see on Ramping Up Your English is done with Liz helping. You often hear her talking in the background, and I often show her both on and off the train. She shoots video footage and still photography. She also spots good shots for me to videotape. Most important for me, she makes traveling fun. Her father also travels with us on the Sunset Limited and on the Coast Starlight. He's the handsome guy with the goatee. He also shot some of the videos seen in this segment. Liz and her dad, Charles, are in some of the video clips that go with today's episode. You'll continue to see them during this unit on Trains and Railroads. Speaking of railroads, we have many idioms in English that come from trains and railroads. An idiom is a saying that means something different from the literal meaning of the words. Here's an example. When the efforts or results of people get refocused toward a goal, we say that the effort is back on track. It can be used in a command such as, "We need to get this project back on track." Of course, a train by its nature cannot travel when it's not on the track, but getting the project back on track has nothing to do with trains. It has to do with refocusing and resuming progress on the project. A similar idiom is getting sidetracked. This refers to something that happens that interrupts progress toward a goal. An example might be that an equipment breakdown sidetracked my video work. Literally, a sidetrack, also called a siding, is a track off the main line. Trains often take the sidetrack to let another train get by. A similar expression is to say that an effort was derailed. This is similar to getting sidetracked, but worse. When a train derails, the wheels are no longer on the rails. A derailment can be disastrous, often resulting in the train falling on its side or crashing into things. It can result in deadly explosions, but it can also be simply a problem that can be fixed fairly easily. Either way, though, being derailed keeps a train from reaching its destination. An example of this idiom might be, her plans to attend college were derailed by her losing her job. An idiom that's frequently used today is referring to an upcoming situation as a train wreck. Used this way, it has nothing to do with a train wrecking. It implies that the upcoming event will have a huge negative impact. Someone might say, for example, the investors saw the train wreck that was the latest economic crisis. The implication is that a disaster is going to take place. It will have a disastrous impact, and there's little or nothing that can be done to stop it, like a train wreck. An old idiom connected to railroad jargon is to be railroaded. Railroad companies were very aggressive businesses. They were known for cheating people they dealt with, especially if they wanted something someone had, like land to lay tracks across. Being forced into a bad deal is thus referred to as being railroaded. An example might be, The farmer was railroaded into selling to a developer for a very low price. Another example, the union was railroaded into signing a weak contract. Finally, there's an idiomatic, that's hard to say, isn't it? An idiomatic expression of running out of steam. Early locomotives were powered by steam, and if they ran out of water or fuel, the locomotive didn't have the energy to move. This expression is used when a person runs out of energy or runs out of enthusiasm. One example might be, I started to clean out the garage, but I ran out of steam. Another example would be, our new president has all kind of great ideas, but he ran out of steam before completing any of them. The important takeaway here is that with idioms, words you hear or read may not mean what they seem to mean. Hearing that underfunded state programs were a train wreck waiting to happen doesn't mean that anything happened to a train. Using idioms when producing language shows a high level of proficiency and a certain sophistication, but be careful to use them correctly. I'm sure there are other idiomatic expressions, hey, I said it, idiomatic expressions connected to trains and railroads. If you think of any, send them to my blog at letscreate.org. We'll get this program back on track with another video clip right after this.